am Oji Akpi. Today we're paying tribute to the iconic fashion designer Kate Spade. On Tuesday morning, the designer was found dead in her Manhattan apartment in an apparent suicide. For this special tribute on Arise Fashion and Beauty Talks, we will discuss her brand, her legacy, and the mystery surrounding her death. On today's show, we are remembering the iconic designer, a woman who was best known for her colorful handbags and changing the world's view on accessories. Kate Spade was found hanged by a scarf she had allegedly tied to a doorknob in her Park Avenue apartment. We will be sharing updates to that story.
Long before there was a brand.
We will take a look back on how she began her journey and the inspiration behind her brand. We will also be sharing footage of the designer in her New York City apartment where she tragically took her life. Princesses, first daughters, celebrities have all worn Kate Spade brand. We will also be highlighting the iconic designer's best fashion moments. And we will be sharing the latest updates on her relationship with her husband, Andy Spade. So stay tuned. Arise Fashion and Beauty Talks. We'll be right back. Kate Spade created an accessible handbag line that merged Main Street and high-end fashion. According to the NYPD, she was found dead in an apparent suicide on Tuesday morning, and a note is said to have been left at the scene. The 55-year-old was found hanging by her housekeeper, and we are told that the suicide note she left was addressing her daughter. Kate Spade was the founder and former co-owner of the designer brand Kate Spade New York. After working in an accessory department at the fashion magazine Mademoiselle, Kate and her husband, Andy Spade, founded the brand in 1993, identifying a market for quality and stylish handbags. The handbags she designed and produced quickly became popular due to their sophistication and affordability. The company expanded into other product lines. In 1999, she sold a 56% stake in Kate Spade New York to the Neiman Marcus Group. Then in 2007, Lise Claiborne acquired the company. Last year, the luxury designer company Coach bought Kate Spade for $2.4 billion. Kate Spade was born in Kansas City, Missouri. After graduating from St. Teresa Academy, an all-girls Catholic high school, she attended the University of Kansas, and later she transferred to Arizona State University, where she graduated with a journalism degree in 1985. Although she loved fashion, she admitted she wasn't obsessed by it. Her first passion was to become a television producer. She told CNN in an interview in 2002 about the inspiration behind her brand. Let's take a look.
Long before there was a brand, there was a girl, Kate Brosnahan of Kansas City, Missouri, the fifth child in a family of 6, part girl next door, part glamour puss.
I really did like fashion, and I really thought I was very innovative. So my mother was actually very good in encouraging me to dress however I wanted. I mean, my sisters would sometimes think, oh my God, you let her buy that fuzzy leopard coat at that vintage store, and I thought, of course, I looked like Audrey Hepburn in this coat,
Did you have fashion role models in your family, in your community?
My mother was one. I mean, I thought she dressed beautifully, and she also really, again, loved it. I mean, you watch her get dressed, and, she really did like it a lot, and I just thought, oh, and I just remember kind of watching thinking, I can't wait till I can do that. I want to paint my nails, I want to wear lipstick, I want to put my hair up in a hairdo, hence the hairdo. I don't think I thought I'd be in fashion, though.
Now, what did you think you'd be when you grew up?
Journalism. Actually, I never even thought I'd be you. I thought I'd be Holly Hunter from Broadcast News, behind the scenes, running around really fast, paying attention to, what it needed to get done, and that's what I thought. I mean, I don't think I imagined. I didn't grow up thinking, oh, I'm going to be a designer.
In September 2016, Kate Spade gave People magazine an exclusive tour to her beautiful apartment. This is the same apartment the designer took her life. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Kate Valentine Spade of Frances Valentine. Welcome to my home. This is my entry hall slash foyer. It was actually one of the reasons I bought the apartment, because I loved the fact that you had some breathing space when you walked in the room. And we decided to fill it, obviously, with a lot of art. It's very much like art design, it's very much like how I dress. There's some favorite pieces that I love here. I mean, I particularly love this one over here. She reminds me of my mother. And I love this of David Hockney. I mean, there are a lot of amazing pieces. It's high and low, just things that we like. I love this one of John and Jackie Kennedy. And we included our daughter's work because I feel like she deserves as much credit in this room. So I want her work to feel as important. Now come on in. So now we're going into the living room, which honestly, I know so many people do not use their living room. We really do. This is a little more bold than the other room where it's kind of more free-flowing. I mean, we have this piece in the center that's very like direct. We try to keep things a little neutral, you know, and then we have my family. This is my favorite table because it's just crazy pictures of everybody. Okay, favorite picture? Picture of Andy skateboarding when he was younger, and yes, it turns out that he was cool. This is something that my daughter drew. This looks like she drew this, but she didn't. She did not do this. I actually bought that for Andy. I think that might have been one of the first pieces I bought from. This is a piece that, if you notice, is all different pieces of paper that are put together. And I also love that I think it's all charcoal. This is called Snowman, which I adore. We've got these cushions, which honestly, these are old Susanis that I had made into pillows, and this is generally where I sit. Honestly, there isn't a book on that table that Andy hasn't read. He is obsessed with books. Honestly, these are just pieces that Andy, again, he found. I mean, he loves African art, but not a lot of it, but he really has a real affinity for it. Okay, does that not look like a Picasso? It's not. And all these, you know, someone said to me, why do you have all these ashtrays and things? And I grew up, my mother had cigarette boxes and stuff. We don't use them, I just think they look pretty. This actually was from my mother. And then a lot of the pieces they're found. I don't know, I love this room. I just feel like it's open. It doesn't feel like this uptight, stuffy living room that so many people never use. We really live in here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now I have to get back to work. Frances Valentine is not going to make itself. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
For many women, a Kate Spade handbag functioned as a symbol of professional achievement. The iconic designer brought a remarkable twist to the fashion industry and was responsible for dressing some of the world's most famous females, including the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, and Sasha Obama. When we return, we'll take a look at the iconic designer's achievements and some tributes from fans and celebrities. Stay tuned. Welcome back to this special tribute to Kate Spade on today's Arise Fashion and Beauty Talks. I am Oji Akbi. Spade received an award for America's New Talent Fashion Accessories from CFDA in 1996. And went on to win it again in 1998. Kate's brother-in-law, actor and comedian David Spade, talked about his first impression of her when he presented her with the New Talent Award at the CFDA Awards.
She was smart and funny and sweet and beautiful and the kind of personality that everyone is drawn to. And it's the kind of girl that you say to yourself, this is the kind of girl you marry. And my brother did.
In 2002, Glamour magazine honored Kate Spade with the Woman of the Year award. Let's take a look at that.
10 years ago, a former fashion editor was hunting for the perfect material for her new handbag designs. One manufacturer offered her this advice: why don't you stop this nonsense about starting a business and go home and make some babies? Great advice, right? Well, her babies were 6 signature satchels that revolutionized the accessories market and multiplied into a $70 million accessories empire. Her name, stitched to the side of your favorite bag and about 17 or so of mine, is Kate Spade. Her chic style appeals to mothers and daughters, girlfriends, and best friends, because Kate insists on simple designs of enduring quality that will last a lifetime. Here are some reasons why women love Kate Spade.
I am a very stylish girl.
I love Kate Spade.
I am a very stylish girl.
Her pieces are beautiful. It's like perfect. I love
A
it.
very
You
stylish.
sure you're not giving this away?
She's a good businesswoman, and if she knows what women want, we want to be with her.
How do I look?
She is tomorrow.
Very mod pop art, and it's really sly the way it's the K and the S.
Kate's truly the quintessential American designer. Girl from the Midwest, comes to New York City. Look at her now, clean, polished. She's really the American success story.
Kate Spade, you old bag hag. What are you doing here?
This is like the museum of adorable purses. I always carry her purses with the little label out.
You buy her bag, and then you buy her shoes to match.
Kate has a very specific style and how she designs everything. She's taken a really small, exclusive collection and turned it into a global, worldwide brand.
Fun, sassy. She has a lot of funky stuff, too. You know, kind of cutting edge.
Everything she does is appealing, including her own personality.
She's an innovator.
And she's talented. I forgot to mention that.
Being a woman designing for women makes a really big difference. She understands a woman's needs and addresses it in the wonderful things that she creates.
If it's not too in, it can never be out. It's the element of surprise that I think is most important. Even if it's just your surprise, that's what allows it to assume the personality of the wearer and not of me saying, this is what I think.
Turning a basic handbag into a booming brand name, the husband and wife team of Kate and Andy Spade.
A special thanks to my husband, Andy Spade, because he is equally as responsible, if not more so, for me being here tonight.
The venture she and Andy began in 1993 with the money from his 401k fund has shown a profit every year since 1997 and has grown into a $70 million business.
Now we can all get a whiff of her sweet smell of success.
Kate's now in the beauty business with her partnership through Estee Lauder.
I have always adored the whole bath ritual. I knew everything in the collection that I wanted, the powder and all the things I really use.
She's got this new line, and I can't wait to sniff it.
Kate Spade Beauty was launched in the United States in the spring of 2002. The fragrance is terrific. Warm, sexy.
Very floral. It smells really good.
It's honeysuckle, which people hadn't thought of for years.
It sold over twice what we projected.
We're very excited about Kate being in the beauty business. It's one of the top-selling fragrances at Neiman Marcus. She's young, she's fresh, she's spirited. She's as alive as all the wonderful things she designs. You really see her in everything that she does.
Ladies and gentlemen, the woman who has success quite literally in the bag, Kate Spade.
I am a very stylish girl.
Look what I got you. I got you.
Whew, I promised I wouldn't be nervous, but this is really such a, gosh, overwhelming honor, and I think I'm much more nervous having realized all the recipients in the room tonight. I'm like, oh no. But I first want to thank Julie so much and Glamour Magazine, and not just for the award, but honestly for all the support that they've shown to our company since we started. So thank you, Cindy. Big thanks to everyone in my company who I wish was standing next to me because they're as deserving as I am of this award. And most in particular, again, I know you already heard it, but to my husband, and I promise you if he was a woman, I would drag him up here, but I won't embarrass you, Andy. So, but thank you so much, and I'll stop rambling.
Kate took a break after selling off her namesake brand to take care of her daughter, and then returned to the fashion scene a decade later with the launch of a new brand, Frances Valentine. The brand was named after her 13-year-old daughter. She then changed the name publicly to Kate Valentine to match her newest company and kept the brand's focus on bags and shoes. For fans of the Kate Spade brand, the aesthetics are the same.
So why shoes?
You know, it's funny, when I left Kate Spade, it was one of the things that I most adored, oddly, because everyone associates me with handbags. But what I ended up really loving when I left, it happened to be shoes. And everyone associated me with handbags, but I really adored shoes. And the detail of it was funny. It just seemed very natural. And when we decided to do this, I called upon our old designer, Paola from Italy, and she at that time was at Prada, and she said, "Oh, no, I can't do it right now." And then, "No, I just got promoted at Prada," and I was like, "We can't compete with that." And then finally she called and said, "Oh, I think I'm ready." And I go, "Okay, let's do it." So we did it.
Kate Spade's death has prompted an outpouring of grief among fans and celebrities, including Chelsea Clinton. She offered her condolences, tweeting, quote, "My grandmother gave me my first Kate Spade bag when I was in college. I still have it, holding Kate's family and friends and loved ones in my heart." Twitter has been flooded with messages for the designer. Fashion leaders, celebrities, and fans reminisce about their first Kate Spade style moment, while others express their sympathies and prayers.
I didn't know her, but when you hear that anyone has come to an end like that, it's incredibly painful for all who knew her and loved her. I loved her work. First handbag I ever bought was a Kate Spade handbag.
Oh my gosh, all I can think about is... We'll take a break. When we return, Arise News anchor Biola Alabi will be joining me to talk about Kate Spade's life and legacy. So stay tuned. Welcome back. We're paying tribute to the iconic fashion designer, Kate Spade. I am Oji Akpi. Several reports state that Kate Spade was suffering from depression because her husband wanted a divorce before she committed suicide. Her husband of 24 years had been apartment shopping for months prior to her death. Late Wednesday, he released a statement addressing his wife's passing and also denying that they were planning to get a divorce despite living apart for 10 months. He said Kate suffered from depression and anxiety for many years. She was actively seeking for help and working closely with her doctors to treat her disease. He said he was in touch with the designer the night before she was sounding really, really happy. There was no indication and no warning that she would kill herself. It came as a complete shock, and clearly it wasn't her. There were personal demons she was battling, he said. On set with me today is Arise News anchor Biola Alabi to discuss further.
Hi, Oji. Thank you for having me.
I am so honored to have you here on set with me today. So let's discuss. When people with public interest suffer from cases like this, what is your take on it? It reminds us that, mental illness is real.
Sure.
I know that maybe last week you had someone on set discussing mental illness. Can you enlighten us? Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Definitely.
Yes.
Number one is I think it's so sad, and I'm watching your coverage and your tribute to her. It's extremely sad to see this and to see that this happened to her. I think she was such a cultural icon. She was someone that did something that people didn't expect. When she started her handbag line, people weren't doing that. Independent people weren't doing that. These were really the ateliers and the big fashion houses, really in Paris, that owned that market.
Correct.
And I think for her to go out as an American and do that, it really just showed. And she was a small town girl. She was a woman who lived
from Missouri,
in a small town and did this. And so that is one of the things I don't want to get lost in this mourning period.
Correct.
Is really her legacy. And I also don't like the fact that it's sort of just about this husband issue that is sort of being the thing that has been sort of in the news. And I guess that might be because there was a note that was written.
Right.
But in sort of us covering, I mean, as someone that loves Kate Spade, when I started my professional career, getting a Kate Spade bag was one of the things. I mean, I got a wallet.
Oh,
I couldn't afford a bag.
Yes.
I got a wallet, but I had one.
Correct.
And then later on, I was able to get other accessories, which her brand did pan out to. I mean, they did clothing. They had these beautiful sweaters, these beautiful dresses, and she was a very successful woman.
Right.
And so I think sometimes when successful people are depressed, people don't understand why they're depressed.
Right.
And that was one of the conversations we were having yesterday.
Earlier, correct.
Last week. One of the things that happened was a young man was one of our speakers. He's a doctor.
Right.
And he went through depression.
Okay.
And he had to seek help, and that also had to be medical. And a lot of times what happens is you stop finding joy in the things that always made you happy.
Is that what it is?
And people don't understand what that is. That's just one way of diagnosing that. And I think what people don't understand is that depression shows up in different places. So because people are always like, but they were happy and there was no sign of them being depressed.
Right.
What happens is depression shows up in different ways at different times,
and
in
this
different
is the
places.
thing that the people were talking about Kate, because she's such a happy person. She actually went to alcohol, and people say she's bipolar. And the thing is, I can't understand why it is that you'd have to take your life in replacement of this type of problem. So tell me a little bit about like the awareness with the mental illness here in Nigeria.
I mean, what was really sort of uplifting and makes you feel good is the fact that people are raising awareness about mental illness. They're really working to make sure that we destigmatize mental illness in Nigeria.
That's great.
Stigma is one of the biggest barriers to seeking help.
Great.
But that's everywhere in the world.
Wow.
The fact that, I mean, can you imagine someone like Kate Spade? She was seeing a doctor, she wasn't talking about it.
Right.
And so these are really important things. So one of the things the doctor said is, be aware of the people around you. Check in with the people around you. A simple call, but anyway.
Yes, we have to go. It's so great. I wish we had a little more time.
No problem.
But thank you so much for being here with me today. I am so honored to have you.
Thank you. I think the biggest thing is just check on your people, check on the people you love, check on the people around you, and ask them if they're okay.
Great. Thanks, Biola.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed the special tribute to the iconic designer Kate Spade on this episode of Arise Fashion and Beauty. I am Oji Akpi. Thank you for watching.